It's clown time! And obviously not the funny kind. I had some trouble with my camera there. Oh man, oh man. Each week, we get stupid news. Well, what else is new, I guess? Let me change the music here. Let's get some Monster Hunter relaxing music. We're gonna need that. And where was I? Okay, there I am. Oh man. Oh man. Bunch of stuff that pisses me off. What else is new? But it's not the stuff itself that is bad, which it is bad, but the reaction to the things that are happening are actually, you know, strange to say the least. Not good at all. People will ignore what's happening because reasons. Let's bring up some stuff here. Where's my thing? This is my thing. Let's start with something that pisses me off royally. There we go. Square Enix to reportedly replace male-female options with gender-neutral looks in upcoming Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. And they will tell you it doesn't matter, but it matters. It do be mattering a little bit. Let's read a little bit. In above the works of the company's infamous ethics department, a new report suggests that rather than gender, the characters in Square Enix's Dragon Quest III HD 2D will instead be classified according to their look, which is obviously extremely stupid. For people who don't know, I think it's mentioned later. Actually, this is a game mechanic, because you have gender-exclusive gear and gender-exclusive personalities, and personalities are actually useful, because they govern your stat growth, so it is actually important. Limitations in games are actually good and fun. People will never understand. Saying immediately upon starting the original 1988, okay? This has been here since the beginning. Adventure Dragon Quest III: Decisions of Salvation features a never before the time gender mechanic, which allows players to not only choose the gender of the game's protagonist, but also recruit male or female versions of each respective class, such as warrior, mage, or thief. To be fair, I need to correct this a little bit. Thief class was not in the original release, it was only in the remakes, but that's fine. Super Famicom Dragon Quest III was what, 1996? It's still almost 30 years, so a long ass time still. While the decision to play as a man or woman ultimately has little effect on the game's narrative, as it should be, the choice to play does determine their appearance, what equipment they can use, and which personalities, a trait that has a slight effect on gameplay stats. I'd say it's more than slight, but sure, why not? They can potentially develop. They also have, obviously, personality-changing items. When you think about it, it's a little bit silly, but it is a game, it makes sense. Obviously, the strongest personality of all, female exclusive, Sexy Gyaru. That's funny. It's really good. It's really good. They have some images here. A memorable, if not inconsequential element of the overall DQ3 experience. Every version of the game, including the aforementioned 1988 original, the 1996 Super Famicom remake, the 2000 Game Boy Color remake, and the 2014 mobile remaster, has explicitly labeled the mechanic according to the standard male and female binary. which makes sense. Male and female is a thing in real life, imagine. However, it appears that with the remake, this consistency will be coming to an end. According to the Japanese entertainment scoop outlets, Ryukuta 2089, especially translated by Deep L rather than male or female, the two options will instead be referred to as Look A, clearly a male hero, and Look B, clearly a female hero. Further, each look will be voiced respectively by Nobuyuki Hiyama, who voices Hiei in Yu Yu Hakusho, among a lot of other characters, to be fair, and Minamichi Yuki, who also voices Beetle in Dragon Ball, which is cool. I guess the trend at the times, wrote the unidentified scooper who broke the news. It seems that the game's other jobs will no longer distinguish between male and female in the game. As noted above, this far from the first such politically correct change Square Enix has made to remake or re-release of their games in recent years. Yeah, I remember this. I remember reading about this. For example, in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the company edited the scene in which Cloud originally stole a pair of Tifa's panties from her drawer in order to make it far less controversial. It's not supposed to be like, oh look, what a chance, it's supposed to be funny. Did you know? Did you know in Japan they love dirty humor? It can be funny. Dragon Quest is a really good example of that. Further, upon Rebirth's release, Square Enix also released a patch for the preceding Final Fantasy VII Remake that retroactively censored the Teenage Tifa's cowboy outfit, as worn by the heroine during the infamous Nibelheim incident. It was back in like February or something like that. I remember reading about this. It was stupid. And they will tell you, well, it's just because she used that outfit in some other Final Fantasy VII game. Yeah. Okay. Why did it change it in that game though? That makes no sense to me. It's also not the first Square Enix title to feature such non-standard gender options. In the 2022 RPG Harvestella, upon creating their character, players could choose to experience their adventure as either a man, a woman, or a non-binary individual. And that makes more sense than this, to be fair. I still think that non-binary is just pure fantasy, but it makes more sense. At current, Dragon Quest III HD TD Remake is on track to start its hero's quest on November 14th, 2024. And they will tell you, it doesn't matter. Well, if it doesn't matter, why did they change it? It's still male and female. Okay. If Type A is male and Type 2 is female, why not call them male and female when they clearly look male and female? I don't understand. And then you have some people telling you with some sort of audacity, because I don't understand how can you be like that. Oh, no, you don't understand. Now more people will feel represented in the game. I have to ask, who the fuck self-identifies as Type A or Type 2? That doesn't make no sense. It's just nonsensical. It's just nonsensical. It's just, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the game. If it doesn't matter, and they still change it, that to me means there's just, at least, language control. And that is dangerous as fuck. That is dangerous as fuck. And as I said on Twitter the other day, when I saw this, do you really believe this is gonna be the only change? No, it's not. No, it's not. Magic Bikini? Out of the game, probably. Out of the game, probably. Oh, Sukshigiaru. Well, I don't know. It's probably still in the game, but I don't want to know the naming convention at all. And yes, they were saying some stuff that, no, it's still not gonna be censored. We still have bunny girls. Yeah. But That's a class. That is a class. That's the female gadabout, okay? That is literally a class in the game that you can get. It's not saying much. And apparently, I didn't look that up, but apparently, the female warrior got censored already. She has a different loincloth now. Ow, 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 you're a Coomer. Why did they change it? Why did they change it? Why did they do that? Square Enix. They just want to die. Oh, you know what? Nier and Dragon Quest are giving us a lot of money. That's a bad idea. We don't want money now. Jesus Christ. Let's see what people say here. They're gonna have escapism thanks to the far left extremists. Yeah. And I like this one. I like this one already. And I want to pirate, save money, and apply entire business mods too. I'll invest in my local butcher instead and some nice steaks. Yeah, pretty much. It's more pertinent to my life and survival than the gender-confused populace or some company a continent away. Wait until they try to make a steak illegal in an attempt to fight climate change. That's already happening. We read about that. We read about that. It's holy shit, it's bad, dude. It's bad. But yes, this is extremely funny because people, normies, okay, mostly normies, they will call you tourist, you know, like, I've been playing games more than you have been alive, so shut the fuck up, okay? The elders are speaking here. They will tell you, well, that's on you. You won't get to play the game. Sure. Or will I? Because I don't know. Some people say I may look a little bit like, you know, that guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, Will Turner. Yeah. You know? Sailing is a nice job. Pays well. It pays well. Like I said earlier, automatic no buy going forward. Yeah. And so funny. It's so funny to me. Yeah, some people saying, well, they say they're canceling pre-orders for this. They were not going to buy it. They were going to buy it. But people nowadays are so jaded. They will drop games for the pettiest things. And you know what? Good. Because if you don't do that, at the end of the day, you end up allowing the agenda to come forward. Slowly, sure. But it's still happening. And also, with this, I found a meme that I think it's hilarious, and it really shows the current situation. Type A and Type B. You can choose your avatar body, Type A or Type B. There are no male and female. Why can't they go Type B stop? Because Type B is female. Interesting, man. At the end of the day, it's clear that it's just, well, you're just a piece of meat. That is kind of fucked up. That is kind of sexist. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that's a W. And of course you have the usual suspects. So it's fine. This is a good change. They have done this before. This has been happening since forever, since Dragon Quest X. And I'm like, okay. The newest game, Dragon Quest XI, that's literally 2 games. Do you know that before 10 we had another 9 games? I don't know, that seems reasonable to me. That makes sense, it's numbers are usually easy to understand. And obviously, this hasn't been happening in forever. This is quite recent. But obviously you have young people that don't know. Young people that started playing games with all of this BS. So they didn't know, didn't understand, they're just ignorant. In the worst way possible, in my opinion. Let me have a drink, I'm really thirsty today. It's not getting better. Not as hot today, which is good. But still. It's so bad. Speaking of, games that want to kill themselves. This was extremely funny. I don't think I read this before, but I can assume what's in here, you know. Tales of Ganzera. So, studio is facing layoffs. Well, imagine my shock. Imagine my shock. Obviously, before starting to read this, we can say, because we've seen, oh, you people hate this game because black people. No, it was actually Sweet Baby. They had the actual Sweet Baby here. That's why people didn't like it. Want to make a game with black people? Sure. Go on. Do you want to latch yourself to them sweet babus? Nah. Not gonna work. Not gonna work well, at least. Multiple former developers, I don't know what I said there, have been posted to LinkedIn that their time working at the studio is ending. As brought by game developer, Tales of Ganzera was released earlier this year. Published as an EA original. Well, that's another red flag. EA? Yeah, no, not a good idea. The game received generally positive reviews at release, with a Metacritic score of 76. That seems okay. Having an update here. The studio has confirmed that just over a dozen employees have been laid off. Okay, that's not a whole lot. It's probably a small studio, to be fair. I think there's too much about that, not gonna lie. Well, it looks like I'm joining all the people affected by industry layoffs this year. Short thing is me. It's me. What a silly name. A former technical artist at Sergeant Studios. Level designer Peter Brisbane wrote the chapter entitled Pete Works at Sergeant Studios, coming to a close at the end of the month, announcing image referencing that he had been affected by layoffs. Happens. If accurate, these developers will join the large number of peers that have lost their jobs in what has been a difficult period for the games industry. And now this is something I don't understand, right? Large number of peers that have lost their jobs in what has been a difficult period for the games industry. And then you have people telling you, oh, but they're not losing money, they're making bank, they're getting a lot of money for their games. How is this possible? Could it be that people are lying to me directly? Could it be that actually they're losing money by the millions? That would explain the layoffs. Perhaps. But only perhaps. Blind people. They're just blind. It's so bad. Turning the Studios, the developer behind Tales of Ganzera, is headed by Abubakar Salim. I butchered that probably. The actor known for his work on House of the Dragon and Assassin's Creed Origins. Developer. But actor. Huh? That is a little bit strange, not gonna lie. That doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. Also, House of the Dragon was successful, as far as I know, but you have to admit that they made a tribe to be black people that probably shouldn't be black people. It raises more questions. Why are they not black anymore? Or why are they not around? It is strange. In Assassin's Creed Origins, I don't remember which one is this. The red one? It was heavily criticized too. Oh, you can be gay, but at the end of the day, you must make baby. So it's not really gay. I understand people being pissed off about that. They just pull the rug under their feet. It happens. BGC. That's not the Pokemon Tournament metagame. This is this website. Video Games Chronicle, just in case. Has reached out to Sergeant Studios for comment and will update this story. She will receive one. I don't think they did. I don't think they did. This is Tales of Ganzera review. Called it the challenging, poignant Metroidvania. Challenging? Sure. Poignant? This seems to me that they like to sniff their own farts. I might be wrong, but you You know, it is a little bit strange. Looking at Zhao feels like a stereo stretching its legs for the first time, we wrote. It's still inventive and full of great platforming, average combat, and exploration lets it down. I mean, it's their first game, it's not gonna be perfect. That's gonna happen, okay? That's gonna happen. But yeah, if they got themselves... Oh, there we have it, there we have it. You let Sweet Baby meddle with your game, you get what you deserve. Which, at the same time, is also a little bit strange, right? It is a little bit strange in my opinion. You have clearly... how to say this, right? Diverse people working in this. I don't know, I'm gonna say that a name like Abubakar Salim, it's probably not a white American, okay? Probably not. So it is a little bit strange that they would need a consultation for this. Shouldn't they be diverse enough? It is strange. It is strange, to say the least. Let's read more comments. They're usually really fun. Perhaps they should have wasted a chunk of their budget on objectionable monetization by committee. Hopefully you'll listen to other studios. What is your comment referring to? I guess because it doesn't ring a bell. This guy doesn't know, it's okay. I don't know if I can post about it here, or whether it goes against the enforced narrative. Oh, Jesus Christ. If it were Eurogamer, I would be banned and purged within seconds. Just Google Sweet Baby Inc. Gets a damn boat. Oh, there you go. The moths. The moths. The genius are here. I wish people would actually do proper research on these things, instead of jumping on internet and fat benchmarks. Enforce narrative? Have a break, pal. Nobody's trying to enforce a narrative more than the people using that company as some sort of catch-all excuse for every game that doesn't feature characters who all look exactly like them. Do I need to bring up the video? You know what? I wasn't gonna do it, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I think I have it on tap. Give me a second. Well, you look at this. I do have it on tap. This is from Sweet Baby Inc. CEO. Okay? Let me stop this. Just a short clip. Let me stop the music here too. Not have any conflict. Okay, are you gonna mess me up now? No, you're not. Beautiful. That's from March 5th. This clip is from 2019, which is funny. And you stupid bitch! It keeps happening. Why? There we go. There we go. The co-founder of Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Belair, proudly explains the method she uses to force bosses at game studios to censor, alter, and diversify game credits she feels are problematic. Terrify them, aka threaten them with the anger of the cancel culture mob. She said it, not me.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did.
What's gonna happen if they don't give you what you want? That sounds so strange. That sounds a little bit strange to me, not gonna lie. That sounds a little bit like blackmail, not gonna lie. What else is new, to be fair? And they will tell you, no, it's a lie. It's a lie, that is not happening. She said it herself. San Francisco. In 2019. We have the video. We have the footage. What do you mean by this? Let's close that one. So sad. It's so sad. Yes, exactly what they are. Blackmail or whole companies that get point until they do what they want them to. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, you wouldn't want to be some sort of foe or ist or some sort of really bad label, huh? And it's funny. And it's funny because I don't know if it's just the executives being brain damaged or they're really too deep in the Kool-Aid. Could be both. At this point, I have no idea. It's impressive that they don't realize that since they started following this, they're losing a lot of money. I don't know. They should know a little bit about money. They should know a little bit about the layoffs. So, do we want to waste money? As some people said before, because I saw some stuff, I think it was on Twitter, I'm not quite sure. For these people, it's not actually about the money, and that makes sense, right? Especially when we saw the other day that stuff with Disney. I saw some more stuff from Jason Cave about Disney. It's cool. It is a nice follow on Twitter. He's a fantastic journalist, in my opinion. Non-derogatory journalist, to be fair. And it's clearly not about the money. They're losing money, and I'm going to use Disney as an example here. They've been losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure, on the last couple of years. 2-3 years maybe. Each movie they release loses money, and yeah, we read a little bit about the new Captain America the other day. It's not looking good for them. But they still keep pushing. Why is that? Well, they're not going for the economic victory as if this was some sort of grand strategy game. They're trying to go for the cultural victory. They're trying to shape culture, and some of them say it outright. So it's just an investment. Yes, I'm losing money now, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the culture that I want, and that is a little bit, just a little bit scary, just a little bit. And yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? When they keep screaming out, "Oh, the modern audiences," that's clearly not a thing. They are trying to shape them to be that, right? Wasn't the Stalin that said something like, "Give me your kids for 7 years and they will be mine forever"? This is the same logic, in my opinion. It's just pure propaganda, pure indoctrination. I probably butchered that word really bad, right? But yes, it just, you will have this doctrine now. And you start to see a lot of people trying to tell you, it was always like this. No, it was not. It was not like this before. It was not. And, for example, lately, I've been catching on TV a bunch of old movies, right? From the 80s or the 90s. And you watch them, and they're good, they're fine. And many times, you look at them and you're like, holy shit, this is actually diverse, but not in the current sense, but in the truest sense of the word, right? You watch, let's say, Die Hard, and you have an Irish American, you think, trying to fight a bunch of East Germans, a company that belongs to a Japanese guy, and the two supporting characters, the two best supporting characters are black. Like, yeah, who gives a fuck? The movie is good. Not because of diversity, but because the movie is good. Just to give an example. You would say, no, it was always diverse. No, it was not. You have been propagandized. You're being a useful idiot. And in many cases, a useless idiot. It's rough. The thing is, this has not been the only layoff here. Which is funny. People keep telling me, no, they're not losing money. They're getting a lot of money, actually. That doesn't seem to be the case. Let's see. Microsoft's Xbox branch to reportedly face third round of layoffs this year. Third round this year! It's July, for fuck's sake! It's July! According to the new report, Microsoft may soon be handing out yet even more paying slips to their already embattled Xbox workforce. The first is of these guys need a proofreader. I swear to God, of the company's upcoming misfortunes was provided to the public courtesy of their now former Game and Learning lead, Jessie Thomas. Taken to her personal Twitter account on July 2nd, Thomas informed her followers, "Sad to announce that my role with Microsoft has been eliminated." And that is a funny way of saying things, right? My role has been eliminated. It's not just a normal layoff. She hasn't been just fired normally. Her role has been eliminated. And we may need to look a little bit more into this, because we've seen some stuff about the DEI departments before. How they want to remove the departments and make sure that every single worker has some sort of DEI stuff in them. I don't know if it's working, but apparently, who was it? Square Enix, I think. They were trying to do that earlier this year. Not looking good. To all those who have been a part of Team Xbox, she added, "Thank you. Hope I made you proud." Yeah, this profile pic here, really small. We know, your average Californian. And there, noted industry insider and The Verge senior editor, Tom Warren, has subsequently revealed that rather than a one-off situation, Tom's job cut was actually the result of a larger round of impending Xbox layoffs. During Tom's initial announcement later that same day, Warren detailed more Xbox layoffs happening this week. Microsoft laid off Jessie while she was on vacation, and that is scummy, okay? That is scummy. I don't know. This could be the worst person alive. You don't lay off someone that's on vacation, come on now. That is scummy. Unfortunately, Warren did not provide any details as to which specific Xbox divisions or positions would be affected by these layoffs. With an A, not with an E. Affect is the verb. Affect with an E is the noun. How do I know this? And you don't, please. Americans, I swear to God. It drives me mad sometimes. Not above, should these layoffs actually come to fruition, it would be but the latest to hit Microsoft in 2024 alone. In January 2024, a new decision partially motivated by shrinking profit projections, but I thought they were getting money! I don't understand! For the coming year, Microsoft axed a rough total of 1,900 positions. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. Across their Activision Blizzard, Xbox, and ZeniMax Studios. This is Overwatch 2, I see. I thought this was their cancelled sure game. It might not have been Microsoft after all. I'm mixing stuff all the time. Then in May, the company shuttered the Bethesda subsidiary studios, Arcane Studios, and Tango Gameworks. The pair is known for their respective developments of Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know too much about Redfall, but I do know that Hi-Fi Rush was actually a successful game. I know because I saw on the Twitter. You had a lot of people from both sides praising the games, and it's actually really fun. I never played it, but it had to be successful, so what the hell? These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and the skill of the talented individuals and these teams or the risks they took to try new things, wrote head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty. What did Booty do, though? In all company memo announcing the closures. I acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to the various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to the market. We're marketing these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. That is so strange to me. That is so strange to me. And I'm going to assume that, yes, at least Hi-Fi Rush was successful, so we're just going to absorb the devs. and try to make AAA games that sell. That's bold, and I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see, we'll see. There's a bunch of stuff we don't know after all. Further, the undertaking of these potential cuts would also leave Microsoft as the latest casualty, yet again, of the ongoing wave of wider Western video game industry layoffs. I've seen some people saying this is another video game crash, and it might be for the best, honestly. Because these huge corporations, like gaming-wise, are fucking up a lot. So, you know what they say. Fuck around and find out. Look, if they fall, it's not my problem. They probably deserve it. This year alone, GTA publisher Take-Two pink-slipped 500 employees. Bond Herald Riot Games let loose 530, Dead by Daylight studio Behavior Interactive X95, and Final Fantasy developer Square Enix slimmed down their US and European teams. And I always find this to be extremely funny. Slimmed down their US and European teams, but nothing in Asia apparently. So I'm going to assume that they had a lot of bloat, and it happens. Because if you get a bunch of experts in diversity, they're just getting paid for nothing, or just to be a detriment, which is even worse. That is interesting. That is always interesting to me. At current, Microsoft has yet to either offer a public comment on Warren's reporting, or formally commence the rumored layoffs. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just yet another round of layoffs. It's been happening for a year. And honestly, it may be for the best. Okay, it may be for the best. I think we all remember, just a couple of years ago, it was in the last 2 years, how huge tech corporations like Facebook, I guess it's like Meta now or something like that, you have Twitter. Twitter was less than stellar, but it's still an example, and Microsoft, not necessarily video games in this case, laid off, also Twitch, laid off thousands of employees, and they're still working pretty much the same. It was rough with Twitter. I know. I was there. I was there. I know. I had to suffer a little bit. Elon was a little bit too fast with some layoffs. I'm afraid. But you don't really see much of a difference. And where was it? I think it was Twitter. I don't have that video on tab. It's a really fun video, in my opinion. They had the daily life of a Twitter employee. Once again, I think it was Twitter, and I may be wrong here. And you have the woman coming to work. Oh, look at this. We have brunch. Oh, look at this. We have some places to play. Oh, look at this. We can go outside on 10. Oh, look at this. We have really expensive catering also. That was interesting. Oh, look at this. We have... They have some alcohol even? I'm not quite sure. I want to say yes, but I'm not quite sure. And that was like 2-3 minutes. And pretty much everyone that watched that video was wondering, okay, when the fuck do you work? What is your job? What are you doing? Okay, sure, brunch, sure, expensive catering, sure, you can hang outside if you want. How about doing your job? What the hell? So obviously, that is a great example of, yes, you have bloat, and you're spending a lot of money in people that do nothing. So, what the hell? Layoffs not only make sense, they're absolutely necessary. You need to cut those people off. Not literally, right? To the comments here. Microsoft asked for it. I mean, yeah, probably. The game showcase was kind of embarrassing. All the games had one thing in common: unattractive female characters. Many such cases. Listen, profits. Have you thought of doubling down with the DI hires? I've tripled down on what you say would work. I let them know. Every time, Care for nobody? Expect nobody to show up. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's just how it works. That's why I hire old guys for vets when I have a position open up. Yeah, but the thing is, even Gen X is getting old. So they have to retire at some point, you know? And the general feature of this, on the line, I would say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's for later. I have some DMs. That surprised me a little bit. And yeah, it's not only, right? It's not just, as I always say, it's not just what you see on screen. The worst part of all this is the actual workers in these companies. They're incompetent. And DI doesn't help. It doesn't. You're getting people there that don't have the necessary skill level, and then you get extremely broken games on release. That always happened, but it never happened as much as nowadays. Nowadays, the Western release, yeah, don't buy it. It's gonna be a broken mess. It's gonna be a broken mess. It happens every time. And ah shit, what game was it? The new Call of Duty? There's like 500 gigabytes? What the hell do you mean 500, dude? It's at least 300. That's way too much already. And you have people on the tour machine, like, right, complaining, oh, do you remember when developers used to compress the textures and whatnot? Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while. And speaking of a bleak future. Oh man, let's get to the main dish for today. From Anime Hunch, American company Blackstone Inc. to acquire Japan's largest e-manga site and use the 1.7 billion deal. It was competing against Sony Music Entertainment and KKR & Co. I don't think Sony is much better, to be fair, but still. I had to preface this by saying, this is not BlackRock, but they're pretty much the same. BlackRock comes from Blackstone, so expect similar shenanigans. Blackstone Inc., the world's largest alternative asset manager, is set to acquire Infocom, Japan's largest e-manga platform, in a deal valued at 1.7 billion USD. That's a lot of money. This marks Blackstone's biggest private equity transaction in Japan to date. And that is kind of scary. That's kind of scary. I remember reading how, oh yes, Japan, they don't like ESG. They're rejecting that. Are they? Are they though? If they're selling themselves to the West, now the West has power to decide. And if they have power to decide, well, you might have ESG, even if you don't want to. It's still soon to say, but it's not looking good. Blackstone will purchase a majority stake in Infocom from Teijin and launch a tender offer to the remaining shares at 6,060 yen each. Just 60, I was struggling there for a second. The deal values Infocom's equity at about 275 billion yen. That is the aforementioned 1.7 billion USD. The deal will give Blackstone access to Japan's booming digital manga market, estimated to be worth 3 billion USD. So this is a really juicy investment for them. Infocom's main revenue source is Manga Comic, a popular website and app offering serialized manga for a small fee per chapter. And now I can only think about Square Enix's manga platform that is extremely censored to a fault. I'm pretty sure it's actually censored with AI. I can look that up. I will probably show it later after reading all this. How they were censoring some names from a Shota boy. Whoa! They said whoa. They said the meme. I was trying to come up with a mix between the Bussy and the Connie, but I can only come up with a bunny, and that's a normal noun. Kusi? Ah, shit, that's too bad. I don't know. I messed up already. Let's keep reading. Manga Comic Platform is a leading destination for digital manga in Japan, boasting a vast library of titles catering primarily to female readers in the 30s and 40s, and this to me is really telling. Just a mirror of the West at this point. Female readers in their 30s and 40s. Yeah, propaganda. I can list both popular titles as well as original ones. However, it is the romance manga that has garnered much attention. It's gonna be hard to propagandize that. It can happen, I'm pretty sure, but still. According to Bloomberg, Blackstone's move is a shrewd investment, recognizing the untapped potential of Japan's soft power empire. They know, and they have the assets to move their pieces there. They highlighted the growing global influence of Japanese manga and anime, and suggested Blackstone is ahead of the curve in capitalizing on this cultural phenomenon. I don't like it. If it's just we want money, cool. If we want to put the agenda here, I'm gonna get mad. Really mad. They're gonna be good. Blackstone plans to expand Infocom's original content, focusing on genre popular with its primarily female readership. That was not English, that was maybe in brain damage. A demographic with growing disposable income. Makes sense. They're still talking about money. We need to be careful still, but it's still money. Atsuhiko Sakamoto, Blackstone's head of private equity in Japan, sees potential in developing animation and merchandise based on popular titles. Okay. This can still be censored, so careful. He noted that while Infocom has a small English language business in North America, Blackstone will prioritize building up original content creation in Japan before expanding overseas. Original content creation. That's dangerous. That's a little bit of a red flag, I'm afraid. The more original content we have, we can monetize that intellectual property over time. Sakamoto said in an interview. We can create animation or merchandising around that, which is going to be the potential opportunity in the mid-term. Right now, original content brings in about 10% of revenue of the platform. And I want to say that they might be talking about dodging stuff, which is normal. Okay, it's normal, it has been a thing for decades. But still, it's an easy way to buy people. The accusation comes amid the surging global interest in Japanese content, because of course, with the streaming platforms vying for rights to popular manga stories for live action or animated adaptations. Popular manga stories for live action. Are we going to act like this is a positive? Because it's not. It's ass. It's ass. Oh, but the One Piece live action is so good though, it's so good. No, I just don't believe it. Who do you have praising it? Brain damage One Piece fans, which praise anything One Piece, so doesn't make any sense. Or normies that praise any live action. So, once again, they have no weight for me. Also, speaking of animated adaptations, do not make me speak. Not fucking Castlevania, okay? Piece of shit. Gay ass adaptation. Fucking Christ. Additionally, digital manga sales in Japan has grown too, reaching approximately 483 billion yen. That is 3.1 billion USD in 2023. Nearly doubling since 2019. While print manga sales have declined. Well, obviously. Well, obviously. You have Westerners watching this, reading this, not watching, reading this. You have people that might be a little bit afraid of the goofy still, whatnot. It makes sense. You always have your phone on you, so it's gonna happen. I still think that paper is best, but I get it. Dynamic Entertainment was previously reported to be competing with Blackstone and KKR and Co. to acquire Infocom. The bidding process reportedly involved multiple rounds. The usual. Infocom shares closed at 6,030 yen in Tokyo trading, and more than doubled since early March when reports of the potential sale emerged. Jesus Christ! More than double, that's a lot of money! Blackstone envisions a 5-year plan for Infocom, culminating in a public offering. However, Sakamoto acknowledged the possibility of other companies being interested in acquiring the business due to its strong content portfolio. That's pretty normal. I would say that's pretty normal. If we build a nice content business, I think it's going to be very attractive to a lot of people, he said. Yeah, probably. Let's read the comments. Let's read the comments. I think there's anything more parasitic to creative freedom than the soulless corporation being allowed to weigh in on an entertainment medium when everyone knows they're completely vile and give us such great hits like the Charlie's Angels remake. I don't remember that, so it's probably really bad. The video game Forspoken, I remember that one. And the epitome of their kind of writing, Disney Star Wars. Features. Sure, they are targeting the demographic of women, not to empower them, but to radicalize them and accompany with those stories fake news media, outlets, and interest, which is inevitably going to be outrage farming. Yeah, this guy works with me. Because this is a corporation, and that's what they always do. That's what he said. Male and women, 30s and 40s. Yeah, we know what happened in the West, so not surprising. This is very, very bad news. It to be, dang, it to be. Great, I was reading One Piece the other day, and while doing so, all I could think was, this is pretty good. But I wish this was uninspired, poorly written garbage like modern Western comics. Oh man! Sarcasm, we love it in here. Now BlackRock is finally helping us address the lack of abysmal dogshit in Japanese art. To be fair, it's not BlackRock, it's Blackstone, but they're pretty much the same. And your enemy, destroy your enemy, keep the gate, hold the line, never give up. They won't do anything and they will corrupt everything like they did with gaming, movies, TV, and tabletop. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Who knows, honestly? Who knows? Kind of terrible. Oh man. Better still, they're going to learn the lesson in a really rough way, I'm afraid. I remember who was it? It's doing well. It's doing well already. But I want to say it was Sword Art Online's author. I might be wrong here. I might be wrong. I might be mixing some stuff that happens sometimes. And that was trying to pander to the West, right? And the guy got eaten alive in Twitter, of all places. Because what the fuck are you doing, you stupid bitch? Why do you listen to 3 or 4 clowns on social media? Doesn't make any sense. And yeah, yeah, pretty much. Rightfully so. Oh jeez, I'm so thirsty today. But still, at the end of the day, we can only vote with our wallets. And talk about this, obviously. We don't have billions and billions and billions and billions and billions like these guys to to buy companies. But at the end of the day, the customer is the king. Guru Majima said that, and it is still true. Speaking of, I don't know how to tie this. Fuck me. This was another stupid stuff that happened this week, and I have to admit that people are latching on the wrong point here, in my opinion. I get it, but you know, let's move this a little bit. God of War Ragnarok writer Alana Pierce argues Elden Ring is not accessible to disabled players. Claims it counts as a disability if you have a 2-year-old. And you have people going like, oh, look at this fucking bitch! Look at this dumb bitch! What do you mean having a 2-year-old counts as a disability? Yes, that is stupid. That is stupid. But I don't think that's the most important part that she said. From what she said, that's what I'm trying to say. So I will address that later. Let's read this first because, yes, it is stupid. It is still stupid. She is basing her argument on some sort of Microsoft document, which makes no sense. He saw some screenshots on Twitter the other day. I think I have them on tab, but it is silly. It is extremely silly. Noted video game personality Eleanor Pierce is adding her voice to the chorus of critics who believes the core fundamentals of FromSoft's difficult video game design philosophy are somehow unfair and restrictive to disabled individuals. I watched the video. She's not making a point, actually. She's trying to, but she's not making any point. Because she doesn't give any meaningful example of how the game is restrictive to disabled individuals. And that should be one of the main arguments. I'm not saying it's not, I have no idea. She doesn't have an argument, so we have to address that. And there's no, yeah. You thought she had the baby, come on now. Come on now. I have this video here, stopped at a specific time frame. We will watch that later. First, we're reading this. Pierce, who prior to her current position as a writer for Sony's Santa Monica studio, Red Flag, had notable stints as a YouTuber, IGN editor, and Rooster Teeth employee. Red Flags all along. Offered up her hot take in a video uploaded to her personal YouTube channel. Titled, Elden Ring DLC is too hard. It's not. Pierce's main point was not to call for a reduction of the game's difficulty, I assume, but to share her opinion as to why do you think it would be great if disabled players could play Elden Ring. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Accessibility options are nice, okay? Like colorblind modes or subtitles. Hey, sometimes need subtitles too, you know? It's way easier to read than to listen, depending on the voice acting. That's cool. That's cool. That was not her point. We will get to that. Following a brief explanation of her general thoughts on the game's recently released Shadows of the Erdtree DLC, Pierce eventually posited it has been brought up various times across various mediums by various people that Elden Ring, or FromSoft games in general, are not particularly accessible to disabled players. But how? She doesn't explain. The only example she gives is, imagine you have a 2-year-old kid and you cannot pause the game. And we have to say the obvious thing. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, and you have a little kid, it's more important than your game, okay? You are a full-time dad and mom, or both, or just one or the other. I don't know, I'm not inclusive enough and I don't care. And that's gonna be for the rest of your life. Unless something extremely bad happens, but that's out of the norm, obviously. Also, monsters do not respawn unless you go to a, how do I call it in here? Graces? Bonfires? I don't know too much about Souls-like, I'm afraid. And you can rest there, and they won't kill you, okay? It's not perfect, but the game is meant to be played that way, I'm going to assume, because it was made that way, and it has been like that since the beginning, as far as I know. Also, you have all that invasion mechanic, so it's technically online because you can have surprise PvP or surprise co-op. Maybe not surprise co-op, but I think it's understandable what I'm trying to say here. And not every game is for everyone. Imagine my shock. Imagine my shock. It's obvious. We have to say it because that's what everyone's saying. But we need to move on a little bit from that, okay? Elaborating on her argument, the God of War Ragnarok team writer asserted, "When I'm asking for accessibility, I'm not actually asking for an easy mode. Remember this sentence. This is a really important sentence. Because she doesn't know what she's talking about. And she's going to actually argue for an easier mode. In a strange way, but she's actually arguing for this. That isn't the intent. Here's the thing I want to spell out where accessibility is concerned. People who are disabled. There are multiple kinds of disabilities, especially where gaming is concerned. Excuse me. There are long-term disabilities, there are situational disabilities, there are temporary disabilities. It counts as a disability where a video game like Elden Ring is concerned if you have a kid. No, it's not. Stop being a clown. Look, it's the year of the Lord, current year, and we have been playing online games for decades. They don't have pause buttons. What do you mean? You cannot pause League of Legends. What do you mean? I guess they're not inclusive enough for the disabled peoples. Too bad. Too bad. You have 2-year-old, you're trying to play Elden Ring, you can pause. You don't have to play Elden Ring. Or you can play Elden Ring when the kid is sleeping. Yes, you're a mom now. The kid is more important than Elden Ring. Imagine. I was so entitled, what the hell? There's a situational disability, no it's not, that you have where the game not having the option for you to be able to pause, for example, is a hindrance for your particular disability, a situational disability. Some people said it before, I don't know if it works, I'm going to assume it does. You can open the task manager and pause the process, and it works as a pause button. It's not elegant, but it works. There are probably mods for a pause button too, I'm going to assume. You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket or a power outlet. Sure, if that was happening, I don't think pausing the game would be my priority in that moment. I don't know what to tell you, that seems a little bit silly. She doesn't seem to be a mom, so I guess it checks out. And there are temporary disabilities, like you break your wrist, you sprain your wrist, where you'll temporarily have trouble playing video games. Yes, that's gonna happen. Imagine my shock. Oh, you lost an arm. Maybe you cannot be a baseball player anymore. It sucks, but it happens. So many of these people had to problem themselves, lol. I don't know what to tell you. I too like to complain, but at least my complaints have some weight, you know? Also, to be fair, as we saw before, she has a stellar career in being a red flag. So, there's that. She continued, you will need something to help you press certain buttons if you're playing Elden Ring. I'm going to assume that you will have bigger problems than not being able to play Elden Ring if that was the case. And look, I'm not saying... I'm not laughing at disabled people, but you have to be real with me. Let's say, if you're blind, you're probably not playing Elden Ring, because I don't think it's really possible. I mean, it's plausible, right? It's probably not a good experience. You can do it, but it's gonna be rough. Imagine being blind fucking sucks. It do be like that. Oh, I don't have arms. Well, fuck me. Yes, they could come up with a special controller for your feet. Or there was that chick that was playing... it was both Palworld and Elden Ring with a special helmet she made, I think. And she was controlling the game with her brain. That was cool as fuck, not gonna lie. That was really cool. Obviously, that is not the norm, but that is a thing that exists, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna say you have bigger problems than Elden Ring if you have a disability. That's just me. That's just me. But building her case, Pierce added, as for the third category of disabilities, long-term people who have long-term disabilities, I have tendinitis in both of my wrists from playing too many video games. Unironically, that is a thing from tapping too much. I don't think that is true. I'm not saying she doesn't have this issue. I don't think that is from playing too many video games. I've played video games for many years. I've played a lot of video games. Never happened to me. Never had a problem. Not even. I was playing the Wii non-stop. And that thing was actually dangerous. You had some injuries on the wrist that were actually called the Wii injuries or something like that. It was funny because, well, yes, people are going to misuse the machine. That happens all the time. But yeah, it's probably not from playing games. Probably an underlying issue. The gamers. They're so injured by the games. That means any rapid button mashing in any game I'm going to have a lot of trouble with, unless there are accessibility options that prevent it. Okay. I'm going to say that is still within reason, not gonna lie. It's part of what I worked on in God of War Ragnarok. That's part of why I made an accessibility award show to highlight this particular thing. She's going to shoot her foot later. The video is just fantastic. Here's the thing about accessibility and Elden Ring. Where any of those things are concerned, cheating assorted. I think there's a misunderstanding that people think disabled gamers, or whoever else, want an easy mode. Sure, that's not the case. It's the appeal of Elden Ring being really hard. It's also appealing to people with disabilities. Imagine my shock. Human people are still human people. Wow. But if you don't have hands, you're gonna have some trouble. At least. Yes, sure, once again, they could be selling special controllers for people that have those issues. I don't know if they do. I don't need them. But that could be a thing, sure. If they want to play the extremely hard game, that's very hard for them to beat. Okay, sure. They're not asking you to give them an easy mode and make it easy for them to get through. They're asking for a version of the game that can be played with their particular disabilities so they can still enjoy really hard games as well. Okay! Which disabilities? What's their actual problem here? I don't understand! You're not giving me any examples. The only example that she tried to give was the pause button, and it's a really bad one at that. If you're telling me exactly just a simple example, okay, of an actual disabled person that might have trouble playing this game, I can't believe it. Why wouldn't I? Sure, there are disabled people that want to play games, but you're not giving me arguments. That is the problem here. You made a 17-minute video that doesn't have a point. And look at me, speaking for hours on end without making a point, but at least I'm trying to be funny. I'm not pulling stuff out from my ass. I'm not a magician. Yet. Putting forth a possible solution to the disability/accessibility discourse, Pierce opined that in exchange for adding certain accessibility toggles, what if you just get a screen at the end with the credits that shows exactly how you played it, what options you had on or off? In my head, this will alleviate a lot of that discourse. And the example she gives in the video is like using ashes, that's the summons in the game. And like, okay, but that's not an accessibility option. That is a game mechanic. Yes, you can choose to ignore it, but that is a game mechanic. What the hell? That's why people think you're asking for an easy mode, and that's why you are actually asking for an easy mode, because you don't know what you're talking about. Sad, but it happens. Bringing her thoughts on the topic to a close, Pierce ultimately made it clear that her demands for accessibility were not demands for the game's difficulty to be lowered. she doesn't know what she's talking about. Happens to the best of us. In her opinion, any non-disabled individual complaining about Elden Ring's brutal challenging nature simply needs to get good. Sure. Sure, she gives the worst examples. American woman! Happens a lot. The gamers are the ones just saying it's too damn hard, she noted, referencing the numerous bad reviews left on various platforms by players who found the DLC to be particularly harrowing. I covered this the other day. I still think it's stupid. If it's difficult, what did you expect? If it's poorly designed, sure, that's like an actual argument. I'm not going to criticize you for that. It's fair. I don't know. Once again, I don't know too much about the game. For any of those people who do not have accessibility specific issues, you just gotta explore more, dude. You can do it. I think you're being impatient. I think you can do it. She's probably right. Interact with the game. I always say that. Okay? She's still making mistakes. I want to get to the video, but this thing is actually kind of long. I would love to see them have more accessibility options, concluded Pierce. I would not like to see them make the games easier or less challenging. But it's a difficult balance to strike, obviously. Once again, she doesn't give examples. And it's extremely funny here too. Next article. Quadriplegic Twitch streamer Rokina Hands beats Elden Ring using no magic, armor, summoning, or hands. Maybe she was wrong all along. Well, let's get to the video. It's really funny. Let me stop the music here. I don't think she has music. But still. Let's have this to be clear when we watch it.
First, Shadow of the Erdtree tells you what you need to do to get good. And I think really, it just requires patience. You may be familiar with scatter tree fragments. I'll keep this quick in case you literally are familiar, but basically, this is effectively a means of an accessibility feature that exists inside of Shadow of the Erdtree.
This is an accessibility means inside of the DLC. But now, let's see the effects of this. This is not accessibility. This is an item. This is in-game mechanics that you can choose to ignore, but this is not accessibility.
Because it is optional, and I love that they've done this.
It's optional. Something being optional doesn't mean it's an accessibility option. Look, if I'm playing Monster Hunter because I know Monster Hunter, and I choose to not use armor, that doesn't mean that the armor is an accessibility option. It's an item, it's an in-game mechanic. You get defense from that, you get armor skills. It doesn't make any sense. This is not as big. This doesn't have as big as an effect. Still, comparable.
So, Scattertree Fragment is a new upgrade material in Elden Ring, debuting in the Shadow of Erdtree DLC. Scattertree Fragments are optional consumables that can be used to enhance simultaneously offensive and defensive capabilities at any
Consumable items. You can use them to increase offensive and defensive capabilities permanently for the DLC. She said that before this. That's not an accessibility option. And if it was, even if it was, this renders your... I don't want to make the game easier, just void. Because if you go out of your way, in an unintended way, with an quote-unquote accessibility option to increase your stats, yes, you're making the game easier. You deal more damage, and you take less damage. Yes, that is making the game easier. And let's be real, we make games easier for ourselves all the time. Oh, I'm going to level up. Oh, I'm going to upgrade my gear. Oh, I'm going to get new techniques. Shit, dude, that happens. That's the essence of an RPG. But do not act as if in-game mechanics are in any way, shape, or form accessibility options. They're not, right? Let's say Dragon Quest, for example. You have stat seeds to increase your stats, obviously. That's not an accessibility option. That is an item. That is an in-game mechanic. You can choose to not use it, obviously. But it's there. It is a thing. It exists. It's just, It is just so tiresome. Jesus Christ. And it's fine if you don't want to use them. I'm not going to be like, yes, you must use this because you must play this game correctly. I don't care, but do not act like game mechanics are accessibility options. They are in the game for a reason. And yes, this makes the game a little bit easier, and that's fine. It is a game mechanic. It's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. She's arguing against herself, and she's losing on both sides. It is impressive. It's impressive here. Let's see the comments. I'm going to ignore that one. Which text does they say? There's something so funny to me. Yeah, this one. There's something so funny to me with the current article being Elden Ring is not accessible to disabled players, and the next recommend article being Better play Twitch streamer, rocking no hands. Bitch, Elden Ring using no magic armor, summonings, or hands. It's just karmic. It's beautiful. You can fail a million times and there's no penalty. You may drop your runes, but you can pick them up. I use Twiggy Cracked Tier, and God forbid you lose them, it doesn't matter. They're not limited. Just get more. Just get more. Just get more, it's fine. I love this one. And Father 2. Well, it happens to be 2. So why didn't you cry me a river and get good? Jesus Christ, destroyed. Destroyed. Also this one. I read this one before. This is a nice one. You can get tendonitis from playing too much video games, and if you have, then you need to stop playing. As enabling a disability, promoting accessibility. If you have a child, you have to understand that they come first. Let your game progress. If you want a luxurious life of uninterrupted game time, don't have kids. Please, have kids, but be reasonable. Your problems are not all of our problems, and we are all handicapped to some degree. When it comes to Elden Ring, it's not as a game, obviously. If you don't have what it takes to play the violin, are you going to demand that they make them more accessible? Shoo! Get out of here! Get out of here! Yeah, that's pretty much it. She's trying to argue for accessibility, giving a bad example, and arguing against herself because she doesn't know what she's talking about. It is so sad. It is so sad. Look, accessibility, like actual accessibility options, they're cool. Add them. Why not? As I said before, spatial controllers, sure. Colorblind mode, sure. Subtitles, sure. But you cannot pretend that you should make the game play for you. Yes, that is making the game easier. You're gonna have additional upgrades. In this case, they're organic, they're in-game mechanics. It's fine, it's okay. It's just, I don't know, it's just the... I think it's like a nothing burger, but at the same time, it's just the problem with quote-unquote gamers nowadays. They don't know what they're talking about. What the hell? It's just so bad. It's just so sad. Speaking of stupid people winning stupid prizes, I am once again reminded that the UK is a place and I don't like it. British police sentenced man to 4 months over a Master Sword toy. Fucking toy, probably plastic. British courts have sentenced the man to 4 months in jail for carrying a tiny Master Sword replica in public. As we can see here. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, a little bit. Just like 22 centimeters. That is 8 inches, I think. Yeah, around 8 inches. Oi, do you have a license for the toy? That is not a knife. Jesus Christ. Come on, this guy is white. What do you mean? According to the Warwickshire police, the man was found guilty of possessing a bladed weapon in public. On June 8th, he was spotted carrying the toy in the town of New Eton. Neonating. I don't know how to say that. Police were informed of his toy carrying activities via CCTV footage and responded promptly. I understand the Blade Runners going around and destroying them. Anthony Bray, a 48-year-old man, was approached by police and insisted he had no intentions of using his toy to cause harm and was intended to be a fidget, which he used to keep his hands occupied. Sure, why not? Why not? The guy is probably autistic a little bit. That's fine. The Master Sword is the iconic weapon wielded by, I think they mean Luigi here, in the Legend of Zelda series, and is used to slay the evil Ganon whenever he appears throughout history. The two bound by fate fight. In a 12-month period, ending in March 2023, there were 244 fatal stabbings in England and Wales, and 101 of those were committed with household kitchen knives. We haven't been able to find any statistic of Master Swords. Unlucky. Unlucky, we don't know, man. It's a powerful weapon, but there's only one. Also, it is the sword of evil's bane. So, maybe it would be justified, okay? Maybe it would be justified. Just a little bit, Jesus Christ, man. Look, the UK nowadays is just a joke. It's just a joke. And they keep trying to make the place safer for people. And I'm like, okay, but do you remember that guy that was entering private property, trying to make TikToks and whatnot? Yeah, that people is the problem. Not because he was black, but because he was a fucking moron, okay? He was a fucking entitled clown. I don't care about his race. If he was white, he would be the same amount of a clown too. Make no mistake about it. But they keep importing immigrants. They keep importing some sort of diversity that might not be the best for the UK, actually. They do not adapt, I'm afraid. And I don't have it on tap, and I will not go into that. But have you seen Friends lately? Yeah. Oh no, the right wing are winning the elections. And now you have a bunch of lefty Muslims just trying to destroy the cities. Oh, they're coming for us! They're coming for us! They're so racist! You're in France and you're supposed to be French to some extent. Why are you waving the Algerian flag constantly? Curious. I will not go into that, but yeah, it shows. How about Germany? Eh? I said I will not go into that. Stop it! It's bad. Let's be real. This toy is not a problem when you have people running around with fucking machetes, dude. Literal fucking machetes. It's wild. It's wild. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. And for the last article of today, it's gonna be a little bit different from usual. It's not just entertainment, but it also has to do a little bit with culture, right? So I want to read it. It's not news from last year. I just found it recently, and I think it's really stupid. I think it's really stupid, and it ties out back with the Dragon Quest BS with the Type A and Type 2. Because did you guys know that words have meaning? And maybe people don't relate a lot with this, right? But how do I say this? I really dislike when I'm watching TV and you obviously get advertisements, right? It happens. It's normal. And for some reason, they start using, usually wrong, which is the worst part, in my opinion, English words when they don't make any sense. If anyone is wondering, yeah, I do not live in the Commonwealth. English is not the first language here. Actually, the English level is kind of low. So it shows. And why use a different word when you have words that work properly, we go back to Dragon Quest Type A and Type 2. You can say male and female, and we all know, we all understand. Okay? We all know, we all understand. I don't know what to tell you. And this is so stupid. This is so stupid. From men's health, this has to be a psyop. This has to be a psyop, dude. Are you gynosexual? Here is what it means, according to experts. If you're attracted to women or femininity, it might be the label for you. This to me sounds like propaganda, and I don't like it. Also, men's health. So, I didn't read this one yet. I didn't read this one on my own. So we're going to read this. I don't want to give my opinion yet because I might be wrong. They might go in a different way, but I have my suspicions. We have some diversity here. It's fine. It's the current year -1, so it's legal. The number of terms and identities under the LGBTQ+ umbrella is ever growing, allowing more and more people to describe their sexuality with words that make sense to them. Sense? I don't think so. One word you may not have heard that is helping some people express who they are is gynosexual. There's no need for this ever. I agree. I agree, but they're talking about it, so we must know. Sometimes spelled gynosexual. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Wasn't Gina Goku's mother? What did they mean by this? I mean, she was okay, I guess. Gynosexuality refers to being sexually attracted to femininity. That is a red flag. That is a red flag. If they don't mention it, I will later. Irrespective of one's own gender identity or the gender identity of the femme-presenting person they are attracted to, says sex educator Lilith Fox. I don't need to open the link to know that person is a transformer. Then on to learn more about what it means to be gynosexual and whether this would be a good term to describe you. Okay, I have to mention it now. I have to mention it now. Being sexually attracted to femininity, irrespective of one's own gender identity or the gender identity of the femme-presenting person. I'm gonna say it. If you're a guy and you like a trans woman, you're gay. Okay? Sexual attraction. You're a male that likes another male. You're gay. And it's fine. Okay? It's current year. It's legal now. Did you know? It's legal now. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. But do not be a clown. Do not be a clown. Oh, I'm just attracted to the femininity of the person. That's gay. That's gay. I don't know what to tell you. It might be the most feminine dick you've ever seen. It's still dick. Dick on dick is gay. And I don't care. Who tries to tell me otherwise? It's gay. And you know what happens if you're gay? Nothing. It's fine. Nobody cares. But do not lie to yourself. And in that case, probably bisexual, but you know, that's just 50% gay at the end of the day. Okay? They're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you. Maybe not here, but I feel that this is just a way to try and justify that yes, if you're a man, a real man, with hair on your chest, and you like a trans woman, you should, and that is straight, and that is, wow, fantastic. No, and you might not believe this, but people fall for this. They do be falling for this. It is strange. It's strange to me. Subversion, Marxism keeps happening. What does it mean to be gynosexual? Another thing. Or you're straight. You decide, right? Gynosexual stems from the Greek word chin, for woman or female. I'm going to teach you a secret. Woman or female? I'm pretty sure they are literally the same. At least in this context. Because Greek word Oh, Jean. Not me, okay? Not me. I'm not talking about myself here. I'm talking about the Greek word. Fuck, it happens a lot, I guess. Where do we see that? Misogynistic. Oh, well. They could be women. They could be women. Gynecologist. No, that is different. Now that is a specific category based on biology. Well, we cannot say a bunch of stuff in current year, because we will get the ban hammer. Unlucky, unlucky. We cannot say that there may or may not be a specific amount of genders, or they may or may not be a thing. We cannot say that. In theory. But if you know, you know. It's a relatively new term in the lexicon of sexual orientation. That means it just made up. Created to offer a more inclusive language for people who don't identify within the traditional gender binary. Jesus Christ, I read this and my brain just melts. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Fox explains, for instance, if someone is non-binary and attracted to women, gynosexual, may be a better fit for them than a straight, which would typically be used by a man, or lesbian, which would typically be used by a woman. I'm gonna tell you something. Vagina on vagina, lesbian. Vagina on dick, straight. Wow, imagine my shock. Did you know? Did you know? I'm gonna say something extremely controversial here. Sex is a binary? How about intersex? Exception, they have both. They have both. Happens sometimes. Extremely rare. Extremely rare. That happens. But it's not a spectrum. Additionally, it can be used by individuals who may be attracted to femininity or femme-presenting expressions that have nothing to do with gender identity. Huh? Femme-presenting expressions, but they have nothing to do with gender identity. I don't think that means anything. I think this is just literally words. They're just words, they mean nothing, and they were just trying to pad this for some reason. This means literally nothing. None of this makes sense. Even the people who say they believe this are just trying to be different and know it's not real. Maybe. Maybe. We have to admit that gender dysphoria is actually a thing, but jumping from gender dysphoria to whatever this is, it's a big jump in logic, not gonna lie. But yeah, at the end of the day, I've been listening to all of this gender bullshit for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. Maybe even more at this point. Actually. And you cannot convince me that the modern concept of gender is anything different to personality. And it's actually really dangerous. It's actually really dangerous. Because you cannot legislate something so volatile as a personality. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're trying to break it down on a molecular level. It is insane. It is insane, and I remember back in the day. Now, there are two sexes and they're different from gender, and gender is a spectrum. And then they're telling you, no, but gender has to do with sex, and sex is a spectrum. And I'm like, holy shit. How many gametes are there? 2? That's not much of a spectrum, that is literally a binary, right? It's just fucking propaganda. I'm so fucking tired of this, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm losing my mind every single time. Gynosexual person can be attracted to feminine women, men, and /or non-binary people. Some gynosexual people are attracted to feminine people of all genders, while others are attracted just to feminine people of one gender. Are they mixing gender and sex again? Which is funny when you take into account their holy texts. For me, gender and sex are not different. Also, I wouldn't say that the modern concept of gender makes any sense. I just said it before. It's just wild. It's just wild. But sometimes you feel different. And that is just morons, clowns, NPCs, if you will, do not say anything even more colorful and creative, rediscovering the concept of personality. You see one of them, and you know all. So simplistic, and yet so sad. Says Justin LeMiller, PhD, a member of the Men's Health Advisory Panel, and Esther Glade's recent sex researcher. PhD! They give them for free now, Jesus Christ, look at this, what the fuck? Some people may use similar terms like gynophilic or gynoromantic to expressing an affinity for women and feminine partners. If you like the fanboys, it's fine, but you're gay. Well, gynosexual is relatively new to mainstream culture. Let's be real, you made that up. That is not new, that is not a thing actually, what the hell? A related term, gynophile, has been in use for decades among sex researchers. Is a word used to describe attraction to women or femininity. Sex researchers. Huh? That's a wild job to have. Probably a red flag too. Do we have to mention job money? Or is it too soon? What it means to be attracted to femininity is very personal, as femininity has no universal definition. Just like women! Another word that means nothing! Oh my god! They keep making those. Why? It's important to remember that gynosexuality is a term that speaks to the complexity and nuances of attraction to femininity, rather than a rigid definition of sexuality or behavior. Reality can be whatever the fuck I want. Huh? I guess. Says Ryan John, a sexologist at petbible.com. Christians are not going to like that one. Gynosexuality is a testament to the beautiful complexity of human sexuality, and the many ways we can find ourselves drawn to the qualities and characteristics of others, regardless of their gender identity. It means nothing. It means nothing. It keeps happening. It's wild. It's so wild. Why do people identify as gynosexual? Because they're fucking stupid. And they want brownie points, maybe. Why might they identify as gynosexual if they feel a consistent pattern of sexual attraction towards femininity? Fuck says. However, the feminine traits people are attracted to vary. Some gynosexual individuals may be drawn to the physical aspects of femininity, such as feminine features, expressions of femininity. Do not take a drink. Every time I say femininity, we're all gonna die. Young explains, others may be more interested in emotional or psychological aspects of femininity, such as qualities traditionally associated with femininity like nurturing, empathy, or sensitivity. You're talking too much. You're talking too much just to say, do you know that people have standards? Did you know that people have personal preferences? And you don't need a word for all of them? And if you needed that, it's actually really sad. Oh, look at us. We are all unique. That's why we all share the same tags. And also, up is down. You're welcome. But who's to say those traits are feminine? Although these are stereotypes shaped by our culture. Do you mean biology? The fact remains that stereotypes and culture influence who we are, and our attraction patterns. I almost read that wrong. If it is empowering and feels authentic for someone to identify with a stereotype and define it for themselves in the context of their own expression of it, I see it as a powerful tool rather than a hindrance. Oh, I'm dying here. I'm dying. I'm not coming enough to understand this bullshit. So that's trying to say, you do you. Who gives a fuck? But in a common way, which is bad. They're not human. However, it doesn't diminish the reality that for some, this concept can certainly be a hindrance or restrictive. Both perspectives are valid. You keep talking without saying anything. Are these guys politicians? They sound like it. Jesus Christ. It's so bad. So bad. It's so bad. In order to avoid being hindered by stereotypes of femininity as a gynosexual person. What do you mean by this? But as a gynosexual person, you're not going to be hindered by stereotypes of femininity. You're gonna follow those stereotypes because that's what you like. By your own gynosexual person tag. I'm dying. I'm dying. I don't understand. Fang suggests deciding for yourself what traits you are attracted to, rather than assuming feminine traits. Nothing for you. You keep saying nothing, it's impressive. Someone can be attracted to nurturing behavior, and not consider this a feminine trait, or attraction pattern at all. Stop trying to give names to personal preferences. Stop it. Stop it. Doesn't make any sense. Similarly, someone can be gynosexual and be attracted to confident and assertive patterns, even if others may consider that unfeminine. It literally means nothing, because there is no cohesion. This means I'm attracted to what I'm attracted. That means nothing. That's just circular reasoning. It means nothing! It means nothing! Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm dying, this is killing me. This is killing me in real time, Jesus Christ. It's so bad, it's so bad. It's also important to be aware of implicit biases that you may harbor and be mindful of your behavior and expectations towards people that you date. Fox adds, just because someone is more masculine presenting does not mean that they should be expected to take the lead in the relationship. Just as much as someone who is more feminine presenting should not be expected to be demure or submissive. Okay, this is just follow your God, I'm dying so hard I'm just forgetting words here. Just follow your personal preferences while you deconstruct yourself in a Marxist way. I don't think I will. You know what? Fuck you. I don't think I will. What the hell is this? What does the gynosexual flag look like? Stupid. I'm gonna tell you that. I looked at it. It is stupid. It's a flag devoted to gynosexual pride, which has pink at the top and green on the bottom to represent attraction to women and femininity. We're making stuff now. We're making up stuff now. As well as brown in the middle to represent stability and support. I thought brown meant brown people. And this is just ice cream. And this is just ice cream. I had this ice cream before. What do you mean? Do I like ice cream? Like in a sexual way? Probably not. It's good. I like it. But I'm not gonna fuck the ice cream, okay? Gynosexual flag. Look, we have strawberry. Really nice. We have chocolate. Always nice. And obviously this is gay, so we can have vanilla. So we have watermelon! Watermelon! This also looks a little bit like bacon. If the bacon was really old and moldy. What is it trying to say here? Hold up. How do I know if I'm gynosexual? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a self-identified bullshit. That makes no sense. Pretty much anyone attracted to women or feminine traits would qualify as gynosexual. But since women and feminine traits can be whatever the fuck they want, literally anyone can be gynosexual, so it doesn't make any sense. Beautiful. However, again, definitions of femininity and gynosexuality are subjective. This word means nothing. Ah! Sexuality and expression are complex and multifaceted, and people may find that no single label can fully encompass or capture the nuances of their experiences. John says, John, listen to me. You don't need labels to fully encompass or capture the nuances of their experiences. It's not necessary. That's just commie bullshit. At the end of the day, you like what you like, and you dislike what you dislike. Like everyone else. And that's fine. Jesus fucking Christ. Sex researcher! Sex researcher! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm overqualified for this bullshit! That's what happens when you don't end up studying gender bullshit in California, I assume. So, it's up to each individual whether they wish to take on the label, she says. The decision to use a label or not should be up to the individual and what feels most authentic and empowering to them. I hate it. I hate it in here. I hate it in here. Jesus Christ. I'm going to bring up the manga censorship from before because I forgot. It's just stupid. It means nothing. It means nothing. We keep making up words that mean nothing. Where's the shot? Where's the shot one? That's funny. I cannot see it here. Oh, it's here! It's here! I found it! I found it! This one is so funny. We're just going to take a look at the images here. Wow! So sexy! Big booba, even if they're covered, Jesus Christ. It's from Otaku USA magazine. Yeah, this one. It's not loading. It's not loading, you piece of shit! It's not loading now, what the fuck? Here's the important one, doesn't load. What the hell is wrong with you? Let's see this one. Wow, look at this. Look at this knee, man. That's too much. That's too much. We're gonna get crazy here. Oh man. So fucking stupid. I'm going to assume this was AI, and the AI thought this was a tit. It's not a tit. It's just shot a knee. It's just a shot with a knee. Happens a lot. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so bad. It's so bad. People keep being clowns. It's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. Why? Why do I have to be here? Just to suffer? It builds character, they say. I'm tired. I'm tired of building character. I just wanna have fun. Anyway, I'm probably going to wrap this up right now. Jesus Christ. It was a little bit rougher today than I expected, not gonna lie. Holy shit. Brain damage, we love it here. Holy fuck, man. Holy fuck. Anyway, time for me to take my leave. Welcome back on Monday. We're gonna do some gacha variety. I'm gonna be trying some gacha games because the games I play keep dying on me. It's bad. I don't think it will stick with any of those, but I just want to try it to see what the fuck they're doing, right? I was thinking about trying that new game, the Cell Zone Zero. I don't quite remember the name, or something like that. Then I looked that up and it was like, oh yes, this is Hoyoverse. Oh yes, this is the game that was censored. Maybe the game is good. I'm not playing it. It's censored. It's Hoyoverse. I'm tribalistic. I'm sorry. I'm just like that. I'm just like that. I'm tribalistic too. I try to be objective, but I can't. If I'm gonna be tribalistic, I'd rather be tribalistic against censorship. But we will try some stuff. I don't even remember the names, but we will be trying at least the new Monster Hunter Feline Puzzles or something like that. Seems like a cute, silly game, so it could be okay. Reminds me a little bit of Dragon Quest Kishi, which was a fun game. It was fun. It was Japanese only. probably a little bit pay to win because I didn't know how to beat some stages. Didn't matter how strong I got. They had a whole live collab, which it was funny. It was funny. I replayed it when the collab happened. Hey, we will be playing some gacha stuff. We will be trash talking the games probably. Most of them are kind of ass, not gonna lie. I've been playing gacha games for a long ass time. They're ass, but they're free, so it's okay. Oh man. But yeah, it's time for me to take my leave. So, thank you for coming. I hope you had some fun. I hope you didn't die as much as me, because Jesus Christ, my brain was struggling there with the last article. And we'll see you soon. Until then, take care.